right, guys and gals, we're going to be doing our 5-minute tech neck fix. Since everybody is a Barbie girl living in a technologically sound world, it's going to be 5 minutes neck reset. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be starting with some of our pinches here, and I'm going to use the official names because I want you to look these up so you can kind of understand where these actually run. So we have our sternocleidomastoid pinch here. Now, when you're working in the neck here, be very, very cautious to not pinch any important vessels. If you pinch something and you start feeling lightheaded, if you start seeing stars, anything of those nature, we want to let off. You want to try to reposition because we don't want to cut off the blood flow going to the head here. Now, all I'm doing is I'm pinching at these specific junctions and applying a slight rotational motion to it to peel these spots open and peel these spots apart. These areas are very indicative of stress and also of chest breathing. Everyone's necks get very tight because they use their secondary respiratory muscles in the rib cage and in the neck structures. And also, we hunch forward. We sit in front of technology all day. We sit in your computer screen, your TV, your couch, all of the above here. Now, what I'm doing here, after we do our pinches, we're going to do our sternocleidomastoid levator scapula thumb run. You're going to find that bone right behind the ear, go to the back of it, find that little muscle, upright your head, dig in with a decent amount of pressure, and you're just going to trace this down all the way until you get into the trap here. And you're going to slowly pull your head away from that spot. You can also add a slight chin rotate to this as well. You'll feel what direction you kind of need to move as you start feeling those fibers underneath your thumb here. Now, this is not going to feel the most pleasant in the world, but it's okay because your neck already hurts. So it can only get better from here. There are multiple tiny times where I woke up and I could not turn my head. I could not lift my head. It was just too tight, too cranky. After a hard lifting session, after a long time sitting, a lot of time in front of the computer, a lot of time in front of the TV. So once again, we're running the trapezius here. We're running the sternocleidomastoid on the back side here. And we're trying to work through all these little muscles here. And you see I'm coming back to the pinch, and you can work through these areas little bits at a time. Now, see, this is another one we can do. We can do our pinch and our slight rotate and look up and away. And what this is doing is you're anchoring that muscle in place, and you see it kind of let go there. You'll see they'll kind of slip away from you. They're hard to get a hold of. But as I start applying some motion, these muscles are not insanely strong, so they let go a little quicker. After we do a couple of our little pinch and drag releases here, our next one is going to be our multi-angle rib braced stretch. So all I'm doing here is pulling my shoulders back and down, tightening my torso, putting my hands on the top of my clavicles here and on the top of my chest so that my chest cannot raise when I start tipping my head side to side and start moving it around. You also want to fully close your jaw as you do this because that sternocleidomastoid attaches right at the back side of that jawbone, and guess what? If you're not holding your jaw in place, the muscle's not going to go nowhere. So we need to make sure this is very well anchored, and you'll notice I adjust a couple times as things start opening. As the tension falls out of these really tight front neck muscles, these really tight side neck muscles, you can pull your shoulders back and down more. You can pull your chest up a little higher. You can sit more upright. And it's a very, very quick adjustment. Like I said, 5 minutes, okay? So we're still working here, and now what I'm doing here is I'm uprighting my head nice and tall, and I'm trying to drop that ear down to the back of the rear delt here, working through this nice tight spot that runs right from the back side of my ear. This is that levator scapula and the trapezius and those tight lines that can cause a lot of tension headaches, and those tight lines in the front side of the neck that may pull you forward into your chest and also make it hard to breathe. If these are tight, you're not going to be able to respirate the way you want. You're not going to be able to breathe properly, and uprighting your head is going to be very, very discomforting. So even if you do this little bits throughout your day, if you sit at a computer all day, if you work most of the day in front of your computer, this is something you probably should do pretty frequently. If you start noticing yourself getting kind of wonky and kind of out of place, take 5 minutes, reset yourself, get right back to work. You'll be able to work longer. You'll be able to take care of yourself throughout the day. The biggest thing is having these little implements throughout the day to kind of slowly reset everything when we start feeling ourselves slide out of place. And you see, nice full neck rotation here. I can look both shoulders. I can look up and down, side to side. And look here, right on the dot. 5 minutes. All right, guys, this was our tech neck release. Give it a try. Let me know how it goes.